The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode.
Summer, summer, summer of 86 at 40.
All right, welcome to Friday here on the Brandon Peters Show and the Summer of 86 at 40 music video companion series. Today joining me is Troy Brownfield, author of Marvel Comics for Dummies, X-Men for Dummies, the coolest guy at the Saturday Evening Post, and my Dark Lord Supreme.
Hail, Brandon.
Hail, Brandon. Hail me. Yes, welcome back here. Later in the summer for you here now. As we do, we'll start with the movies that we talked about Monday. So when your first one was on, you had a short 3-movie week. Now you got a 5-movie banger. So I like to call them. So there are 5 movies. And I'm going to ask you, and if you have your thoughts, you have your thoughts. If not, we move on. All right. The first movie is called Choke Canyon.
Oh, I remember the movie existing. I never saw it, though.
It's a Stephen Collins action movie.
Well, that's unfortunate.
With Bo Svensson and Lance Henriksen. I at this point in the recording, I haven't watched it yet for the show, but ooh, it's coming.
Yeah.
The second movie is called Nothing in Common. It's a Gary Marshall movie with Tom Hanks, Jackie Gleason, Eva Marie Saint, Hector Elizondo, and Stella Ward.
Yeah, I remember having seen it, but I don't, recall a ton about it. But
Gotcha.
I mean, the general plot, I know it was like a father-son thing, but
Blind spot for me. And then we have a little family movie called Flight of the Navigator.
hey, fun stuff.
Fun stuff. Did you ever watch that one?
Yeah. And, I always, the thing about that is like, even at that age, like, 13-ish, I had way too many time travel questions.
Yeah.
About it.
We watched that in school a bunch when I was in like elementary. It'd be like the movie to pop on a free day or something. They'd be like, wheel in the car, fly the Navigator, enjoy, kids. And I thought for a while it was like a made for TV movie, but it was not.
No, it was in theaters.
It was in theaters, yeah. Got that Amblin kind of aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
That people strive for. The
Like
next
Explorers.
Right. Yes. And the next one is Howard the Duck. Heard of that one? Is that in Marvel Comics for Dummies, Troy?
Yes, I saw it in the theater.
Oh, wow.
It is not a great movie.
It's a fascinating one, like we talked about, yeah.
But apparently somebody liked it enough because Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern is basically the same plot as Howard the Duck.
It is. Yep, it is.
Which,
yeah.
But no, there's so much weird shit in Howard the Duck.
Leah Thompson fucks a duck. That's
duck nudity.
Duck, yeah. It's so weird. Remember, that was the big, I remember the thing with that was the big George Lucas thing. Oh, George Lucas is going, what a failure, George Lucas. He's lost it. That type of.
Well, the thing too is that Howard the Duck, the actual Steve Gerber 70s comic series, is beloved because it's batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And they were just not prepared to do a faithful adaptation and be batshit crazy with it.
Yeah.
They made their own kind of batshit crazy. It is, like I said, it's super weird.
I will say all the money's on the screen. It's an expensive movie, and it looks like an expensive movie.
Yeah, the showdown with the interdimensional monsters at the end and stuff. There's a lot going on in terms of visual effects, but
yeah. What's with us as a society in the United States and ducks? We have Howard the Duck, and then in the 90s we'd have Duckman on USA.
Donald Duck, Daffy Duck.
Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, Daisy Duck. Yeah, Duck Hunt.
Disco Duck.
Disco Duck. Darkwing Duck. Scrooge McDuck.
Hey, you leave Darkwing Duck alone.
I wouldn't.
He is the terror that flaps in the night.
Right. And the widest release this week, more theaters than Howard the Duck. Jason Lives, Friday the 13th, Part 6.
The Tommy trilogy.
Yeah, the conclusion.
Yeah. Um, I've always been kind of middling on Friday the 13th, and
Gotcha.
this is coming from someone who saw Jason Takes Manhattan in the theater. But you know,
Jealous.
it is what it is, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, this is the one. This is the one that's like Tom McLaughlin does, and he makes it a little bit more gothic, like
hmm.
classic gothic, and, it's got a comedic edge to it. This is the one where the kid says, "Well, what were you gonna be when you grew up?" And it's got Tom Matthews, stud of the '80s, Tom Matthews that never really took off. I saw him at a convention last year. Um, he still looks good. But the funny thing is him was like him and George Clooney were buds coming up, and like George Clooney like lived in his closet, and they were like Tom Matthews getting all the jobs and stuff, and then Clooney just I think he kind of passed him over at some point, but
Is he one of the famous 14? Like
famous.
Clooney has a real tight knit group of buds. Like Grant
Mm,
Heslov's in it, like who he produces with, because Heslov was an actor, and Miguel Ferrer, who was his cousin, and uh was it Randy Gerber, the photographer who's married to Cindy Crawford,
mm,
and um Richard Kind. These are like all like really good friends of his that like they all supported each other and stuff coming up. But then
gotcha.
after ER broke and like Clooney made like his second deal, Randy Gerber told this story that he had a dinner and all the guys were sitting at the big table, like the Last Supper, and Clooney's like, okay, so this is what I did. Get under the table. Everybody had a briefcase with $1 million in it.
Oh,
And Clooney gave each one of them $1 million so they could keep doing what they were doing. They wouldn't have to worry about kids or meds, everything. He paid the taxes on it too and stuff. And so it was like all his friends, he just gave them $1 million. It was part of but there were
hmm.
14 guys.
I don't know. I can't see where it says who the 14 were except for two of them. Um, Richard Kind and Ron Gerber,
Yeah.
but I can't see. But Tom Matthews has said he's still, because he's a either a landscaper or a building contractor, and he does work for Clooney still to this day. So maybe he is. And he had a funny story. I was listening to him like over a decade ago on some podcast interview, talking about how when they first he landed like a guest star gig on something, and he got a movie deal, and like it was like at the start of the summer, and they went out one night calling it the summer of love. And he's like, I just remember that night. It was like we were gonna do these crazy things, and it wound up just being one night. But they
That's
called it
fun.
the summer of love. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, very funny. But Jason Lives ranks highly in my Friday the 13th rankings. It's either number 2 or number 3, depending on the day. I have Final Chapter as the best one, and then between part 2 or this one are
I would agree with
numbers.
Final Chapter being the best one.
It's the best like horror movie of the Friday. Like if you want a legit chance of like a classic Friday the 13th movie scaring somebody or being impressed by the visuals and the effects, I go with 4. And it's got Jason, and there's a recap at the beginning that gets you all up there, and I think it's got the best cast because they were like actually casting, you know, people with agents and stuff, and like a lot of the people in the Friday the 13th after 3 wind up being people who were like guest stars on sitcoms and stuff like that, so they're more known faces,
Yeah.
um, but those are my favorite. But I like Amy Steele a lot in part 2. Like she's probably the
Yeah.
best final girl in all the Friday the 13th. So, and that's a good movie too. Um, but yeah, 2, 2, 4, and 6, like I don't know, is it Star Trek or something? But um, I argue motion picture ain't that bad. And do people really hate Search for Spock? Like I've never. Granted, you go from the directorial efforts of Wrath of Khan to Leonard Nimoy's first film, and like you looks like sets compared to Wrath of Khan. There is a visual difference, but it's still a good movie. I see beyond it.
I just find motion picture boring. I like 3. I
Have you
like
seen the director's cut of motion picture where they trimmed it and they cut it shorter and made it shorter? It's the one director's cut that actually consolidated.
I don't know if I've ever watched it.
Yeah, it's better. It's better, but I don't know if it's going to make you more of a fan. But you might be like, okay, if I ever set to watch this again, this is the one I pick.
But no, I think 3 is interesting for the fact that they're not in Starfleet uniform for much of it, and they've
Mm-hmm.
had to steal the Klingon bird of all the different stuff that
Christopher Lloyd is a Klingon. Come on, that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
purge.
Courage. David gets killed, man. What the
Yes,
hell?
David
Uh,
is dead.
David is dead. All right. So speaking of being at the movies, because this video, I guess
Yep.
we'll segue right there to Nasty. It's the second single from Janet Jackson's third album, Control. She had 7 fucking singles off this album. Had What Have You Done For Me Lately, When I Think of You, Control, Let's Wait a While, The Pleasure Principle, and Funny How Time Flies, parentheses, When You're Having Fun. The album topped the Billboard charts, went 5 times platinum. The song itself goes platinum and peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100 and topped the Hot R&B and hip hop charts. This is constantly rated among the top songs of the 80s. And Troy, you want to tell me that line that everybody knows from this song?
No, my first name ain't baby, it's Janet. Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Yes. So tell me about Janet Jackson and this song. So Janet Jackson is someone we talked about in the summer of '93 at 30.
Mhm.
But we're going back a bit, more origins. But this is her third album. It's more breakout stuff than.
Yeah, it cannot be overstated the influence of producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
who, if you don't know, came from the Minneapolis movies music scene and were members of Morris Day and the Motherfucking Time.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
Jungle Love. Yep. So Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis know what the hell they're doing. So her first 2 albums were kind of lackluster. I think she had like a minor hit off of one. And Janet was well known outside of just being a Jackson because she was Penny on Good Times and she had a role on Fame. And so people knew Janet. She just
Mm-hmm.
hadn't broken out. And she didn't like have the material. And Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis gave her material. I mean, she was a writer and so forth, but they made the sound, which is, somewhat Prince adjacent, but it's very diverse. It's a very diverse sounding record. Let's Wait a While does not sound like Nasty, does not sound like, these songs have diversity. There's stuff like Control and Nasty you can see you're very similar in some ways, and When I Think of You has, you've got like these little differences, but as an artistic statement, Janet is like a fully formed artist with really good songs behind her, and then you really see her dance. Like
Mm-hmm.
even in Fame and stuff when she was singing, I don't think that she danced as much, but she coming from a family that had been making music videos
Right.
for many years, she has an idea of how I should approach this. This should be a production, all of these videos for this album. Like Control is a live album, I'm sorry, it's a live video. It's a live in concert video. And Pleasure Principle is just like Janet dancing in a building, by
Mm-hmm.
herself. There's no other people. But um what have you done for me lately? When I think of you, Nasty, they're all more story production, lots of dancers and everything, and kind of in the mold that Michael was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like Joe Bob says, if you're going to make a sequel, make a sequel. Um, but Nasty and the other songs on it, there's a lot of even though they weren't saying it so much in the 80s, a lot of feminist stuff going on
Mm-hmm.
here.
She got the shoulder
And
pads. And
yeah,
yeah.
so but like even in the musical, even lyrically and everything, like What Have You Done For Me Lately and
Mm-hmm.
Nasty in particular are really into the whole, hey, some guys are bullshit kind of
Yeah.
kind of thing you weren't really hearing in a lot of the other
It's okay to
80s
walk
pop.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had another music video in the summer that deals with that with Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. Has a Cats video that kind of
Yeah.
deals
Bad
with that.
boy.
Um, but yeah, this video very cool. Directed by Mary Lambert,
Mhm.
and you should know who Mary Lambert is. She's directed Pet
Pet
Cemetery
Cemetery.
1 and 2, the film Siesta. She did a Tales from the Crypt. She did a Red Shoe Diaries. Uh, there's a cult. There's a kids. People love the Halloween Town movies. She did the second one. She did the third Urban Legends movie that went straight to video, Bloody Mary. She just directed for The Blacklist, Arrow, and The Goldbergs. This time in the music video scene, she's done The Go-Go's, Madonna, Sheila E., Night Ranger, Rod Stewart, Sting, and Motley Crue. Very, very cool stuff. And the choreography here and scene in the video is done by Paula Abdul, which is funny because she doesn't do much dancing here. I don't think Janet wants that. She's like, no, you keep your dancing ass over here. You direct us over here. But she plays one of her friends that goes in the movie theater with her. And Paula Abdul did win an MTV VMA for the choreography on this video. So she took that home. But yeah, it's a music video. Janet goes up and jumps in the movie screen and dances with guys and stuff. And it's just seamless, flows. It's got a little bit, it's like a Michael video where you got a little bit of story and then performance. And the dancing is really fucking cool and they're really good in this. And, kind of, it's that kind of makes you kind of move in your seat or want to move with it type group dance, which I dig. And, Janet is on her way to becoming just damn near as big as Michael. Getting to this point. And I remember this song on the radio a lot. Like I can remember times where like, oh yeah, and it'd be, being at a lake or something, everybody's got their like boom box, back in the day, and I could just hear this song coming from it.
I'm also struck because I remember this, we've established I was a little bit older than you, but I remember this. Mm-hmm. There was some controversy over people saying that she looked heavy in these first couple of videos, and I'm like, what? Look at her. She does not.
If you saw her in person, you'd be like, "Oh shit, never mind."
That's crazy. The things that people would say about that. But I remember that being like a point of controversy and contention.
Oh, jeez.
And to the point, by the time that they get to Pleasure Principle, which is either the 6th or 7th album, she's noticeably lost a lot of weight. So I feel like this is weighing on her, in a way, because she didn't have to. That was not something like if you look at this video or Control and everything, obviously she is not an overweight person. Obviously
no,
she can dance, obviously. But it's like such a fucked up 80s thing that they all got that. Like people would say that about Madonna or Cyndi Lauper in the True Colors video and stuff like that. People would make these comments that, critics and stuff, and it's like so out of bounds.
And now curvy's in. So like it wouldn't have been a thing. And like you look in this video, she looks tiny. Like it's so there's a rudeness to culture and stuff that that people just don't think twice. It's okay to say it. It's like no. And then you get the regular people thinking that too. And it's like, what do you look like?
Yeah.
Like this whole thing. It's like just unabashedly talking about stuff like that, which I have taught, doing a lot of interviews and talking about with British celebrities. They tend to, they say like, which maybe we've grown, but they tend to say like American fans and stuff will tell you what they love about something all the time. The British people immediately come at you with what they don't like. And I'm like, maybe that's part of our British culture or heritage coming out and us saying just ugly stuff like that. Like, she looked kind of pudgy in this one. Oh, what the? Wow. And the thing is, look at the moves. That's even more. If she is pudgy, that's some impressive moves that she's got going on.
And you mentioned obviously Paul Abdul and the choreography and so forth.
Yeah.
And I'm unsure about like why Paula did not dance in these videos, unless maybe they were just trying to highlight Janet, because very quickly after this, Paul Abdul, like, because she was already the choreographer for the Laker Girls and everything, she choreographs Coming to America, like the dance scenes in that, like the opening scene in Zamunda, and then quickly goes to her debut album. But Janet then picks up Tina London as her choreographer, and she's in like all the videos, the 1993 album, she's like, If I Was Your Girl and That's the Way Love Goes and everything. Tina London's literally dancing alongside all the other dancers in those videos. So there wasn't like a competition with her or anything. And Jennifer Lopez too.
Right, yeah. Jennifer Lopez
one of the dancers. She's very prominent in the That's the Way Love Goes video.
Which Paula Abdul had been a Laker girl before, and like she is about a year and a half at this point. She's a year and a half away from just blowing up and
Yep.
becoming larger than life. Like she was like my first video on the Brandon Peters show was Opposites Attract. That was the very first video, music video discussed with her, and but she ends up being like, I mean, American Idol gives her a career, a back end, uh, into relevancy again, but like she was kind of a flash in a pan for like what 5 6 years would you say, or shorter?
She maybe a little shorter. She
Because
she
she went,
blew up real big, like 88
mm-hmm.
ish,
Yeah,
like when she really exploded, and then had a run. She did videos with Keanu Reeves
mm-hmm.
and married Emilio Estevez.
Right,
And then I think that it was, I can't remember what year Crazy Cool came out. I kind of remember that being like the last like hit she had of a big nature. But
mm-hmm.
she was also ran into the problem that a lot of other artists did, that there was the intersection of um, alternative hip hop and all these other things exploding, and they crowded out some artists. And I always felt like she was just one that guy that got crowded out,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
by the time that like that started to die down, the boy band teen girl pop came in, and then you couldn't compete with that if you were older.
yeah, yeah.
And
or,
so
or
it
or they
was
had to
kind
start with you younger and grow with
of
you like a Madonna
right.
or Janet, as we're right
These
here.
cascading waves. Like Madonna managed to just ride the 90s and early 2000s by just, doing Madonna stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's like Madonna's career is weird because the Super Bowl, she had a really good Super Bowl show, but like none of her singles stuck after that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of weird.
But I mean,
And
you got to give it to Madonna for lasting for like 4 or 5 decades in a row.
yeah,
Like just queen of pop.
she's
Like
got a new
that's,
album coming out.
yeah, she does. Able to evolve with the times. Always,
Yeah.
But like Paul Abdul, like she does like between her albums, she has like 3 years between her first and her second, and then four to the third
Mhm.
one. So it's kind of like just things were passing her by. Maybe she needed to crank them out quicker, or but that first album was one she could ride for quite some time. That was they wouldn't let you do that nowadays, but
Yeah. Well,
she
Janet goes from, well, yeah, and it's very interesting because like Thriller had a like an album cycle that lasted like 3 years,
mm-hmm.
because it came out in 82, and like they were
Oh
releasing
yeah.
singles from that from 82 to 84. But like Control has its 7 singles, and then she goes right into basically Rhythm Nation, that
Yeah.
album, which has a bunch of singles, and then into Janet, which she doesn't have too many breaks for this period, and deep into the 90s. She's deep, and it's hard to say where Janet fell off a little bit. Um, Maybe 2000-ish, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
somewhere in the 2000 that
the
Super
thing
Bowl
that really
thing, and then
killed
yeah.
Janet, oh, sorry. The thing that really killed Janet was the Super Bowl halftime show,
Yeah.
ironically,
Right.
which wasn't her fucking fault.
No. It's a boob.
Yeah. Well,
The
I've always
dumbest
been
thing.
annoyed at like how JT escaped any blowback for that.
But he didn't escape the law because now we have a video of him his drunk
Yeah,
driving up escapade. But
Radiohead called the Karma Police.
right.
But
So
Janet's a really interesting figure because she was like super successful for a long time. Not just like a little successfure, like
yeah,
massively.
she was massive. Yeah, gigantic. And she still, I mean, she did. Remember, she came here and she sold that the fuck out real quick to Deer Creek.
Yeah,
Like, just
yeah,
it was, yeah, it was packed to the brim, the gills with, yeah, with her. She can still sell easy.
yeah. I'm just kind of curious, like some of these artists that they just seem to be like, eh, that they're like, I don't need to do it. I'm kind of done,
Yeah. She's
you know.
very quieter, privater, and you know what the thing is too. Like we're living in a time now where like there are artists that can release albums and stuff like that, and they sell okay, but their tours and stuff sell huge. or if
Yeah.
they're at a music festival, they bolster the shit out of it. So I think we're more in a phase where live music tends to matter more than studio albums can. But I mean, granted, everybody has access to everything if they want. So people have it on Spotify if they don't have to buy it. Like they can go listen to it.
Yeah.
So there is that difference. But I've noticed that like there's bands and stuff that's like their albums don't piddly, but they can sell out something in 2 seconds if they want to play. But
Yeah. Well, like here, a good example of that is my favorite musician, Bob Mould, his early 90s band Sugar,
mm-hmm.
which is great. But they have a reunion. They made a couple of new songs, and they set up like 3 shows in New York and 3 in London. And didn't have a tour booked, like, because I want to see those things sold out in like
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes. And so it's like, okay, we'll go on tour. And
Right.
they've got a whole tour that just like blew the doors off. And it's like the Copper Blue was ranked very high, like College Music Journal, like um in London publications, they called it the #1 album of the year when it came out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this was against a lot of heavy albums because this is like 92. And it's just great stuff, a short run, and then like they went and did other stuff. But it's really interesting because it's a perfect example of what you're talking about, that you can thrive in this live market now.
Yeah. Well, okay, like Journey, they've put out an album or two. No
Yeah.
one gives a shit, but they will sell out, and they don't even have Steve Perry. Could you
Nope.
imagine? Like that's my thing. I think we are past the point. It's never going to happen.
Right.
But one of the biggest tickets to ever get would be if Steve Perry rejoined Journey.
Yeah, if it was going to happen, I think it would happen at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Yeah,
induction. I think that you
Steve
would.
Perry does not give a shit. I don't think
No,
he likes Neil Sean much. So that's
no,
but that's an example. Like, yeah, that would have been the big, like, Oasis getting back together. That's huge. Steve Perry rejoining Journey on stage. I don't know if it would have been that huge. It probably would have been that huge, but that's why I've never seen Journey in concert, because I'm like, Steve's the guy I want to see.
yeah,
That's the guy. Like, I I can go see a cover band of Journey do do the same thing, because that's basically close to where they're at. But
right, right,
so yeah.
yeah. But swinging back to Janet, I think that you know Janet, Madonna, Cindy, some of these like great share, even they're not afforded the opportunities in these spaces now in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and certainly if MTV played videos, I think they wouldn't necessarily play their videos.
Oh no, they'd be VH1 only. They might be too old for VH1 too. You never know, but
Yeah.
they would be VH1. They would be MTV might try to push the Madonna thing. They might be nice to her, but um, yeah, they're past even their kind of like comeback where that old band hits with the young crowd for a real quick minute,
Yeah.
and then that's it for them. They pick up that one last wave of fans and they're young, like they come like everyone does, they grab that, but yeah, they would have had that, but we're past that with them now. But it's
Yeah.
it's nuts. But yeah, Janet's great. This song Nasty was got a good beat to it, and you always, yeah, it's this one's just so of a moment of my childhood that I just remember. I can picture places this here in the song takes me back.
Oh yeah.
One of those. So very easy to. But Troy, that wraps you on the summer of '86 at 40. Another one complete. Next year will be 97. So get your music studies up. First, yeah.
Semisonic.
Oh, is it closing time?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if it was in the charts that summer, we could talk about
Away by
closing time.
fastball. This is 97 stuff. I think Creed may have broken
Was
out.
it My Own Prison?
Wow, prison.
Should have been dead on us. Oh, we
Up
all.
there, boy.
I'm getting pumped for it as we speak.
Yeah.
I did go to a Creed concert.
Hype it up. Oh, no kidding.
I
How was
did.
that? Did
I
you
came away.
levitate?
No. It was on their first album. I came away more impressed and liking the opening band Fuel more than them. And I thought Fuel was it was like cocaine addled rock and roll. They were all over fucking stage. I was like, this is nuts. And then the radio station talked the next day about like they trashed their hotel room. Like these guys fucking right. I bought their album. I really like. I think Sunburn's awesome.
Uh-huh.
I stand by that. They came out with the next album, that Hemorrhage. And I tell all my friends they were coming to Three Rivers Festival in Fort Wayne, and I was like, dude, you guys got to see. These guys are fucking nuts. It's awesome. And I went, and success had changed this band, because we get this Brett Scott is like, Julie, leave my bleedings in my head, like very crowd like. Oh my god! And I was like, where's the jumping on the amps? Where's throwing shit? Where's like getting nuts and sweaty? No, we was wearing a t-shirt, and I was like, man, they changed. Good album.
Saw at Circle Fest.
Okay.
Did you ever see a Circle Fest in Indy?
No. We had our. I never came down. I didn't come down to Indy much for concerts because the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne was getting good shit all the time. So.
Yeah, Indy would do, and this was in the 90s. They would do Circle Fest where they would close off the streets leading to the circle, and they would have stages on the different streets.
Okay.
And it was the one year had Fuel and Casey and the Sunshine Band and Rick Springfield and stuff. It was like,
wow.
The Beach Boys.
Okay.
But so it was like some good stuff at the different corners. Like, but Fuel and Rick Springfield were great.
All right.
And I've seen Rick Springfield 3 times, and that man gets better and somehow younger. He is a vampire. But,
he is. He is.
But yeah, he's really good. But yeah, it's interesting. This goes back to the live thing you're talking about. Like Casey and the Sunshine Band still touring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there's lots of bands still going, still hitting it strong, but and a lot of them team up to play bigger places.
This might have been, I think it was 99. I was gonna say it might have been 97-ish, but I think it might have been 99.
Gotcha.
That year was. I'd have to look it up. So 97, you're in for a treat. I think people are like,
I haven't looked back right there. I mean, I lived it. It was my teen, my high school, my youth, so I didn't quite have my driver's license, but
I think All Star by Smash Mouth is.
Oh, okay. And that's a summer song.
Maybe 97. Yeah.
Oh my.
Mystery Men.
Yeah. Mystery Men. There we go. But you're no mystery man. Where can people keep up with you for the while till we get another Satanic Panic run going?
SaturdayEveningPost.com, and you can find me just as Troy Brownfield on most of your favorite social networks. And obviously, as Brandon mentioned, Marvel Comics for Dummies and X-Men for Dummies in the stores, and both with audio versions for people who like the audiobooks.
All right, cool. And I am on the socials at Brandon4KUHD. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can watch Troy and I discuss Janet Jackson, Paul Abdul, and more while you can see us do it. Or you can check out my 4K Blu-ray and DVD reviews, or something else I might have posted there. I will be appearing at Long Island Who in August, 14th through 16th, Long Island, New York. Very excited for that. See all my fellow Who fans around. And then Mondays, Aaron, Scott, and I return for more of the Summer of 86 at 40 as it continues. Stay film positive.
Summer of 86 at 40.